Get ready with me to rant and rave. A note before we begin, I am not that good at doing my makeup. I'm literally just doing my makeup so that I don't look like a little drowned sewer rat. And also because you know what I've discovered? I've discovered that if I wake up, I get dressed. And yes, I count this as getting dressed. It's not pajamas, it's a tank top, it's overalls. This is a full outfit. If I do that, if I do my hair, yes, this is my hair being done somewhat. I honestly did it like yesterday and then I slept on it really well. And I do my makeup, I just feel a little bit better. Is that, conforming to society? Yeah, I bet I'm a conformist. That's something you need to know about me. Anyways, this is what we're going to rant about right now. This is something that I saw on Threads. Threads is the Twitter knockoff by Meta. Duh, everybody knows that. I'm not calling it X. It will always be Twitter. I'm never going to be like, oh, but I left Twitter years ago. I left Twitter years ago for all the reasons one should leave Twitter. It belongs in the DSM. Being on Twitter belongs in the DSM. Being online in general, I think being extremely online belongs in the DSM. Anyways, I left Twitter because it's gross. Made me feel gross, made me act gross. I think it brings out our basest instincts. When Meta came out with Threads, people were like, oh my God, it's so friendly. It's so like great. No. People are like crazy everywhere on the internet, even though Adam Grant shared this thing that was like, don't lose hope in humanity. I'm going to get the stats wrong, but I'll pull it up on the screen so you can actually like read it. Like only 3% of people are crazy online and that only represents 1% of like the actual population, so it doesn't matter, but it matters when you're in it. Like it matters when you're in it and you're like looking at your phone, you're like, oh my God, everybody's gone nuts. But anyways, like wherever there are people who are exposed to other strangers behind a screen, their basest instincts will come out. People talk to each other on the internet in a way that they would never ever speak to another human being. So this thing crosses my feed, which again, something that I don't like about Threads is that I only want to see stuff from people I follow. I'm so tired of random algorithms. Like just show me the things from people who I've decided to follow. But anyway, something crosses my feed and it is, one of those stories that are like, this is so heartwarming. Says a Korean mother on a 10-hour flight from Seoul to San Francisco handed out over 200 goodie bags to fellow passengers. The bags contained candy, earplugs, and a note apologizing in advance in case the 4-month-old baby cried during the flight. You can tell by my tone how I feel about this. And my tone of disdain is not for the mother handing out goodie bags. I'm not like, oh, you think a goodie bag is going to make it better that your baby cries? You think earplugs are going to do the trick? You think, I need little candies. Do you even know my candy preferences? No. My issue is with the fact that one, somebody would see this and be like, wow, that's really thoughtful. Like, sure, it's thoughtful, but also to me, it is a sign of how thoughtless other adults are. This is a mother of a 4-month-old baby. The note that she wrote says, hello, I'm Jun Woo and I am 4 months old. Today I'm going to the US with my mom and grandmom to see my aunt. I'm a little bit nervous and scary because it's my first flight in my life, which means I may cry or make too much noise. I will try to go quietly, though I can't make any promises. Please excuse me. So my mom prepared a little goodie bag for you. It has some candies and earplugs. Please use it when it's too noisy because of me. Enjoy your something. Thank you. Smiley face. Or something. I don't know what that last thing is. This is the mother of a 4-month-old baby. A 4-month-old baby. She has paid for this flight. And she spent her own time before this flight with a 4-month-old baby making goodie bags for 200, presumably mostly adults, on a flight to apologize for the mere existence of her baby. I've never gotten a goodie bag from apologizing for the noise that they may make. All the annoying businessmen who are, by the way, taking like their Bluetooth phone call until the plane takes off, like closing the deal and they're always like, yeah, no, that's exactly what I told him. Yep, Like the way that they will share loud, obnoxious details of their business deals, always a business deal, as though it is the most important thing in the world, more important than anything else. I've never gotten a goodie bag from them. I've never gotten a goodie bag from the people who take off their shoes and socks and put their feet up, so I have to see their naked dogs out. Never gotten a goodie bag from them. And you know what? I don't need them. And I would never take a goodie bag from a mom, not a mom of a baby, not a mom of a noisy child. The thing is, babies exist. They exist. You don't have to like them. You don't have to love them. You may even want a goodie bag. You may be irritated that a baby dare cry because the pressure of the air against their little ears hurts them and they don't know how to yawn on command and they can't chew gum. You might be annoyed that a baby cries because he's hungry or tired or just because he likes the sound of his own voice. We don't know why babies cry. Maybe they're just really into the sound of their own voice. We don't know. You may be annoyed by that, and to that I would say grow up.
Oh, great. I always end up sitting next to a damn baby. What?
What did you just say?
Stewie, stop fussing.
Not now, Lois. Hey, big man, turn around. If you've got something to say it to my face. I was going to watch the movie, but forget it. For the next 5 hours, you're my bitch. Where? Where? My ears are popping and there's no way to console me. I'm hungry and possibly teething. Maybe I'm wet. Who knows? I'm a baby. Where? Where?
I would say grow up. You were a baby too once. And there are people who are like, just don't bring your kids out in public if they can't be absolutely silent, you know? And it's like, okay, well then don't bring your husband out if he can't be absolutely silent. Don't bring yourself out if you can't be absolutely silent. The fact is, we live in a society, and we also live in a society where, you know, I can't speak to being a mother in Korea, but I can speak to being a mother in the US, where you are given a baby, you are out of the hospital 24 hours after that baby has exited your body, and then you are just kind of on your own. Maybe your employer gives you 6 weeks of short-term disability, which is partial pay. Your baby still needs you after 6 weeks. Your baby definitely still needs you after 4 months. And you are just kind of out there doing your best. At 4 months, your baby might not be sleeping through the night. Mine weren't. At 4 months, you might be sleep deprived, exhausted, postpartum depressed. You might have postpartum anxiety. Your body has gone through a lot. You are still adjusting to life as a mother. The thought of this woman being so anxious about her flight that she spent her time making goodie bags for strangers because she was anticipating their irritation and their anger with her baby, who may or may not make some noise on a long flight across the world, makes me kind of sick. It really does. It really does. You don't need to apologize for the presence of your baby. You don't need to hand out goodie bags in case your baby cries. And there will be people who are like, but I wanted to, but I liked to, but it made me happy. Okay, that's fine. That's great. That's good for you. But what I am saying is that it is enough. It is enough to simply survive with your baby, get your baby on that plane, get through that flight. And if you see me on a flight, I will try to make eye contact with you and telegraph all of that to you telepathically, okay? I will be looking at you with love, admiration, with a look that hopefully isn't frightening to you, but says something like, look, if you get tired, I'll hold the baby. If the baby cries, no problem with me. No problem with me. Let that baby cry if he has to. So anyways, I don't know this mom. I don't know her motivations. Maybe she just really, really, really likes making goodie bags. Maybe this is part of Korean culture that I just don't understand. Maybe this is a random act of generosity that made her feel good. But the moms I know, the American moms I know what it's like to get on a plane with a baby. Your body is sweating. You have a stroller that you've had to gate check. There is so much stuff. You are carrying so much physical stuff, and you are also carrying the anxiety of walking onto a plane, feeling eyes on you, and people being like, don't let that baby sit by me. Don't let that baby sit by me. That baby better not cry. I boarded a plane with my very fresh baby. He was 3 months. He couldn't have been 3 months old because I was still on maternity leave. He was maybe 8 weeks old. We flew from Minnesota to Phoenix. His dad had cancer. I was on the end of a rapidly fraying rope. And I remember boarding this plane and a man saying to me, I hope he behaves himself. And I snapped. I was like, I hope you behave yourself. I hope you behave yourself. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to shake my baby? You want me to be like, you better stop. Don't dare make a noise, because this man, this adult man, needs a perfectly silent flight while he's on a tube of other people's farts floating miles above the air. Like, the miracle of flight is not enough for this man. He needs absolute silence. How dare you breach the sanctity of coach? Okay, because we were flying in the very back of the plane. At this point in time, like we weren't even like comfort plus. We weren't even in comfort. Like we were like in discomfort minus. Moms know. And, I'm sure there's some dads who know that too, but there's just something about being a mom and just knowing like that society kind of hates ya, Society kind of hates ya. So if you are the mother of a baby and you really, really want to make a goodie bag, I'm not going to stop you from doing it. I just want you to know that you don't have to. You don't owe anybody an apology for your baby existing. You bought the ticket. You're the one who has to sit with that baby in your dang lap, nursing it or bottle feeding it or trying to keep it entertained for hours and hours and hours. You don't need to apologize for your baby. You don't need to make anybody a goodie bag. And if you are a grown-up and you are complaining about a baby on a flight, grow up, grow up. Grow up, grow up, grow up, because you used to be a baby and you weren't quiet. If you're like, well, my parents never took me on a flight, they probably couldn't, okay? Like if you're my age, like nobody was flying with a baby. We weren't flying anywhere. I didn't get on a plane until I was like 10 years old, and which was honestly very young at the time. Like I remember being like, I'm going on a plane, and all my classmates were like, an airplane flying in the sky? I was like, yeah, that's right. And I'm going to California. And guess what? I'm a 10-year-old from the Midwest, and I believe that all of California is hot all the time and it's all palm trees, and I will land in San Francisco and have a very rude awakening and a very, very miserable Christmas break. These are some of the responses. My kids are both older, but I flew solo a lot with them when they were younger. I was always terrified of just existing in public with them. On a flight last month, I had 2 empty seats next to me. A mom and her 18-month-old ended up sitting for a minute. Her kiddo was having a hard flight, but they sat and we played, and mom cried a little. There was also a mom with young kids across the aisle, and they commiserated. It's just so easy to be kind. I don't understand why anyone would choose otherwise. Another person wrote, it's also like, do you think I want my baby/child to be acting up on an airplane? You think I'm enjoying the experience of trying to calm my crying baby on top of people being assholes about it? More than anyone on that plane, I'm hoping he stays calm and happy. One person said, I agree she shouldn't apologize, but I think the goodie bags are a sweet way to recognize everyone is stuck together for a sustained period, and a crying baby is hard for everyone, mom and baby included. This is one of those things we do to build empathy and community. And again, I say, where are the goodie bags for like the loud, obnoxious men who get wasted on a plane that I've sat next to? Like, are they handing out goodie bags? No. That's it. We're good. I like good enough to get through my day working at home alone.